So we have this 1953 wooden runabout that came with a 70 horsepower Mercury outboard, which is a little big for the boat. It weighs almost 300 pounds, and the boat itself is only about 300 pounds. So we're removing it. I have another video that kind of goes into the steering and other controls. This, we're just removing the wiring harness. Now, there's a couple kind of little banana plugs that just pull apart here. I don't know if banana plug's quite the right term for them, but I think that's right. And if I had made myself a note right there, I could have told you what these two wires go to, but I didn't. They're two wires that I think we might be feeding. I can't remember where they go in the system, what those two wires do, but there's just a set of banana plugs that remove the boat side harness from the engine. Those just pull apart. Cleaned it up a little and then tucked them out of the way. And then the main harness is just below where we were working there. Fortunately, my arm's in the way of it, but you'll see it here in a second. The main harness is just held in with a zip tie. So you cut the zip tie, you pull the harness out of a little cradle that kind of holds it in tight, and then it just comes unplugged, and you've done all the electrical connections to the engine. Well, not quite all. So here you can see the harness sitting there. It's still held by a bracket that I'm going to have to go hunt up the right screwdrivers to get it loose. Here I'm just kind of cleaning up the cables from where the wire, the outer sheath of the wire has some oil on it from just time on the engine. But now we've got to remove that bracket so that we can take that main wiring harness that you see sitting down there low. Once we have this bracket off, we can take that main harness, and it kind of is going to stay with the boat for now, because it runs up along the side of the boat all the way up to the helm, where it brings power and everything up there to the cockpit. So we just have to remove this bracket, and it's only held on with two screws. Just one of them was being difficult. But once we have this off, we really just have a positive and negative lead to remove from the battery. And then, I kind of wrap those up around the top of the engine. And so here we finally have that harness off. And then I put that clip back on so that we don't lose anything. And it's kind of holding the two wires, the heavy negative wire and the heavy positive wire that kind of run the starter. And of course, negative provides all the feedback for the electrical system. But once I've put this back together, we basically can move to actually pulling the motor off the boat, and it's held on with 4 bolts. This is actually a long shaft motor, which is too long for the boat. The boat's only got a 16-inch transom, and so there are spacer blocks there underneath it to kind of lift it up a bit. The new motor we'll be putting on it will be a short shaft, and we won't need those spacer blocks. Now, unfortunately, the camera wasn't running through rigging up the harness, operator error, but I'm just using a strap down through the main mounting points to hold that. There is a part from Mercury that screws into the top, but I don't have that part, that lifting eye. That would be the recommended, or the best way to do it, but the strap worked fine. We didn't hurt anything. And finally have that engine off, we can do some more work on the boat. And that's the next, is we're going to flip that boat over and take care of some repairs on the keel. So thanks for watching.